And so when I look up and see Nick Fuentes using tribalism to build an audience and influence, and Louis Farrakhan-like tactics, and then he's mixing it with, hey, and I'm a Christian. I was like, oh, well, that sounds like Martin Luther King. Hey, I'm a Christian. I'm a heretic, but I'm a Christian, and I'm going to package everything along racial lines in a soft, warm and fuzzy kind of tribalism and build an audience when I'm really a plant leading people to Marxism, taking them away from their salvation, and I'm being propped up, pushed, marketed, manipulated, led by people that don't have the best motives or agendas. That's my sense of Nick Fuentes. He's like all of us, though. He has an opportunity to repent and go a different way. And what I've been explaining to you all is that I'm starting to see young people that I respect and care about ask me questions. They're being, and I'm talking about black and white guys, that are being attracted to Nick Fuentes. And so I'm going to question that and raise a red flag or raise a flag of warning, like, hey, let's don't throw away our salvation over some feel-good tribalism. Let's don't throw away our salvation over, hey, man, we're frustrated with this world that they've built that favors women, favors feminism, demonizes white people and white men. There's a better solution. That, and I've been trying to say to the Groypers that you have some legitimate concerns and complaints that can be addressed without throwing away your salvation. And I'm not interested in demonizing you. I'm not afraid of you. I'm very much aware that the Groypers get hyper aggressive with people. I've heard from women that have been harassed by the Groypers. And that's the other part that triggers me is your tactics, going after women and mothers and other people that, even I look at a Candace Owens and a Tucker Carlson, and I say, Candace, I think, got 4 kids now and a husband. Tucker's got 2 or 3 kids and a wife. And I look out here and say, well, Jason, you know, they can handle the fight, but can they really get down in the weeds and do this fight with all that they have going on in their life? And I'm trying to turn the mistakes that I've made, not having a wife and kids, these are mistakes that I've made, trying to turn it into a strength of like, somebody's got to wrestle with this guy, might as well be me. He ain't gonna threaten my wife, he ain't gonna threaten my kids. Threaten me, they can harass me, they can dox me, they can do whatever they want. I couldn't care less. Perhaps I've made these mistakes in my life so that I can wrestle with people that want to use really dirty tactics. That's how I can be of service. And so the reason I'm bringing this up today is Nick Fuentes, after we had the Chris Brunet, he has talked about me, I believe, yesterday on his show. I want to play the clip of Nick Fuentes' response, and then I want to evaluate, is this a Christian response? Let's play Nick Fuentes talking about me yesterday.
Why would I? Why would I talk to that token? Why would I give that token the time of day? If Jason Whitlock wasn't black, he'd be at McDonald's flipping burgers because he's a fucking idiot. And the only reason he has a show is because he's black. He's a token black conservative. His show doesn't even get views. That's why he has a contract, because he's black. And Blaze wanted they wanted some Uncle Tom, black conservative. They wanted some black sports brother to show the fucking talking points. Everybody knows if he was white, because he has no IQ, this guy would be a line cook somewhere. This guy would be fucking bussing tables. So, no. I wanted to come on a show a few months ago when he started this whole beef. Now he's just bringing on people to lie about me. He's calling me a fed, a pedophile, all this kind of shit. Fuck him. Fuck that fat piece of shit.
So that's Nick Fuentes. That's a very high IQ response from Nick Fuentes. That's a very Christian response from Nick Fuentes. And it's not until you actually get in conflict and any type of adversity that your actual faith gets tested. It's very easy when you're not getting tested, you're not getting any pushback, there's no adversity. It's a lot easier to be Christian. Going gets a little tough. People start having tough questions for you. People start asking difficult questions that perhaps you don't have an answer to. And you resort to name calling, profanity, and whatever else that was. I don't have to, there's no reason for me to get defensive about my career. It would just be silly to get defensive about that. But I want to play you a response that I provoked from Stephen A. Smith when I asked questions of Stephen A. Smith about, hey man, your background, it doesn't add up. Here's the receipts. Stephen A., what's really going on here? There's things you've written in your book that don't add up. But are you sure you haven't been planted? But I asked Stephen A. and did some shows and put out some content with some serious, legitimate questions about Stephen A. Smith with receipts. And here was Stephen A. Smith's response.
From my soul, when I say this is the worst human being I've ever known. I don't know of another human being worse than Jason Whitlock. He is a piece of shit. He's the dude that's going to have a funeral and ain't going to be no pallbearers. He's a sorry, fat piece of shit. A no of the worst order. He is the worst human being any of you will ever meet. You get within a mile of his presence. Wrap your arms around yourself to protect your soul.
I asked some legitimate questions about Stephen A. Smith and his background. And that's the response I got from Stephen A. Smith. We're asking legitimate questions about Nick Fuentes and his background. He's wanted to go on platforms and wanted to engage with this person and that person. No one will talk to me. No one will talk. Well, I wanted to know what I wanted to ask. I've seen you interviewed a bunch of other places, and there's some Christian faith-based questions and like what you're really involved in type questions that I want to ask. And it just strikes me that Stephen A. Smith and Nick Fuentes had the exact same response. And if we went longer with Stephen A., he'd talk about how he asked his minister for permission to go off on me, and his minister gave him permission and forgave him, and blah, blah, blah. This very unchristian-like behavior that they're normalizing. And so I just think it's interesting that both of them had the exact same response, and it's what makes me think, what's really going on here? Who is actually supporting them? Who planted them? Who has empowered them to be influencers? It's interesting. Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.